There is beauty in brokenness, strength in scars, and power in imperfection. These are not just words. They are a way of life for those who, like Muniba Mazari, have learned to rise above adversity and shine not despite their imperfections, but because of them. Good morning, afternoon, evening, everyone. Today, I want to talk about something we often try to hide or fix: our imperfections. We live in a world that glorifies perfection, filters, and flawlessness. But the truth is, real strength lies in embracing who we truly are, imperfections and all. Just like Muniba Mazari, an artist, a speaker, a change maker who turned her pain into purpose, we too can transform our perceived weaknesses into our greatest strengths. Her life teaches us that you don't need to be perfect to inspire others. You just need to be real. Imperfection is not a weakness. It is a reflection of authenticity. In a world that constantly chases the illusion of flawlessness, this truth can feel revolutionary. From social media filters to carefully curated lives, we are conditioned to believe that only the perfect deserve to be celebrated. But the truth is, perfection is a myth, a moving target that no one ever truly reaches. And in trying so hard to be perfect, we often lose the very essence of who we are. Muniba Mazari, known as the Iron Lady of Pakistan, is a living example of how embracing imperfection can lead to a life of purpose and power. After a tragic car accident left her paralyzed from the waist down, she was faced with a choice: either to hide her pain, her new reality, her imperfection from the world, or to own it, live it, and rise above it. She chose the latter. She chose authenticity. And in doing so, she inspired millions. Not because she had a perfect story, but because she had a real one. Our imperfections are what make us human. They are the cracks through which our light gets in. Every scar, every flaw, every mistake is part of our journey. When we embrace them, we give ourselves permission to be seen, to be heard, to be understood. We no longer wear masks to please others. We show up as we are, and that honesty becomes our strength. Think about how often we criticize ourselves for not being enough, not smart enough, not strong enough, not strong enough, not beautiful enough. These are not just passing thoughts, they become beliefs, and these beliefs shape up self-worth. But what if we flip the narrative? What if, instead of hiding our flaws, we wore them as badges of honor? What if we recognize that every so-called imperfection holds a story, a lesson, a moment that shaped us? Authenticity is magnetic. When we meet someone who is unapologetically themselves, we are drawn to them. Why? Because they give us permission to be ourselves too. Muniba Mazari doesn't inspire because she pretends to have it all together. She inspires because she speaks openly about her struggles, her fears, her failures. And in that vulnerability, we find strength. In her honesty, we find hope. There is immense power in saying, yes, I have been broken, but I am not defeated. There is courage in admitting, I am still healing, but I am moving forward. When we stop pretending to be perfect, we start becoming real. And being real is where transformation begins. In our imperfections lie our greatest stories. The times we fell and got back up. The moments we doubted ourselves but kept going. The challenges that tested us and changed us. These are the stories that connect us as human beings. No one relates to perfection because it isn't real. But everyone can relate to struggle, to failure, to resilience. Choosing authenticity means choosing to honor your journey just as it is. It means accepting that you are a work in progress, and that being a work in progress is not something to be ashamed of. It means recognizing that your worth is not defined by how flawless you appear, but by how fully you live, love, and lead despite your flaws. When Muniba sits in her wheelchair and paints vibrant colors on a blank canvas, she doesn't paint perfection, she paints life. She paints courage, she paints hope, she paints truth. And that is what moves people. That is what changes lives. Not the image of perfection, but the power of being real. We often think we have to fix ourselves before we can be worthy of love, success, or happiness. But the truth is, we are worthy as we are. Our imperfections do not disqualify us. They make us relatable, resilient, and real. They remind us and others that it's okay to not have it all figured out. That it's okay to stumble, that it's okay to be human. So, instead of striving to hide what makes us different or flawed, let us choose to embrace it. Let us show up with our whole selves, not just the polished parts. Let us be brave enough to be seen in our rawest, truest form. Because that is where the real power lies, not in perfection, but in authenticity. Your scars are symbols of survival, not shame. In a world that often associates beauty and worth with flawlessness, scars are viewed as imperfections to be hidden or erased. We go to great lengths to conceal our wounds, whether they are physical, emotional, or psychological, because society teaches us to hide what makes us vulnerable. But the truth is, our scars tell the stories of resilience, of our ability to overcome adversity, and of our strength in the face of life's most challenging moments. Muniba Mazari, a woman who embodies this idea more than anyone, often speaks about how her scars became a source of pride rather than shame. After a devastating accident left her paralyzed from the waist down, she could have chosen to see her life as a tragedy, something to hide behind closed doors. Instead, she chose to wear her scars proudly, recognizing that they represented not her defeat, but her victory. Every scar tells a story of survival, of getting back up when life knocked you down, and of finding the courage to move forward despite the pain. When we look at scars, whether they are physical or emotional, we often focus on the pain they represent. We think of them as marks of suffering, reminders of things we wish hadn't happened. But in reality, those scars are reminders of what we've survived. They are the evidence of our ability to heal, to grow, and to keep moving forward. Without those scars, we wouldn't have the same strength, wisdom, or perspective that we have today. In the case of Muniba, her physical scars are visible to the world, but the emotional scars are just as significant. The trauma she endured wasn't limited to her body. It affected her heart, her mind, and her spirit. But rather than letting these scars define her as broken, she chose to redefine them. She chose to see them as symbols of her survival, as proof that she didn't give up, that she continued to live, love, and inspire even in the face of unimaginable hardship. Scars are often misunderstood, but they are not a sign of weakness. They are a testament to the strength it took to endure a difficult experience. We all have scars, whether they are visible to others or hidden deep within. Maybe they're the emotional scars of a broken relationship, the psychological scars from childhood trauma, or the physical scars from an accident or illness. These scars are not something to be ashamed of. They are part of the journey that shaped us into who we are today. Every time we look at our scars, we should remember that we are still here. We are still standing. And that in itself is something worth celebrating. It's easy to get caught up in the idea that we need to be perfect, to have flawless skin, flawless relationships, and flawless careers. But that's not the reality of life. Life is messy. Life is filled with challenges, with setbacks, with heartbreak. And it's in the overcoming of those challenges that we find our true strength. What makes scars so powerful is that they are a permanent part of us, but they don't define us. They are not a reflection of our weakness, but of our courage. Every time we look at our scars, we are reminded that we have survived something difficult, and we have come out on the other side stronger. We have gained wisdom from our wounds. We have learned lessons through our pain. And we are more capable because of it. When we choose to wear our scars with pride, we send a message to the world that we are not defined by our pain. We are not defined by the things that have tried to break us. We are defined by how we rise, how we rebuild, and how we continue to move forward. Our scars are not marks of shame. They are marks of resilience. They are symbols of everything we've endured and everything we've overcome. And in that, there is power. Muniba Mazari's story is a testament to this. Despite the physical and emotional scars she carries, she has become a symbol of hope, strength, and perseverance for millions of people around the world. She has shown us that it is possible to live a life of purpose, to chase our dreams, and to inspire others, even with scars. In fact, it is often because of our scars that we are able to connect with others on a deeper level. Our vulnerability becomes our strength, and our scars become the bridge that connects us to those who need to hear our story. When we embrace our scars, we stop running from our past and start using it as fuel for our future. We stop hiding behind a facade of perfection and start living authentically. We stop being ashamed of our imperfections and start celebrating the resilience that lies within us. Our scars are not a burden. They are a blessing. a reminder of our inner strength, and a testament to our ability to heal and move forward no matter what life throws our way. True confidence begins when you accept yourself as you are, in a world that constantly pushes us to meet certain standards. Whether it's in how we look, how we perform, or how we succeed, confidence can often feel elusive. We are conditioned to believe that confidence is something you have to earn, something that comes only after achieving perfection or after fitting into the mold that society sets for us. But the truth is, confidence is not about being perfect. It's about being real. It's about accepting who you are right now, flaws and all, and finding strength in that acceptance. Muniba Mazari's journey is a powerful example of what true confidence looks like. When Muniba was involved in a devastating car accident that left her paralyzed from the waist down, she could have easily fallen into self-pity, questioning her worth and ability. But instead of allowing the tragedy to define her, she chose to redefine her life. She chose to embrace her situation and accept herself fully, wheelchair and all. This decision to accept herself as she was, without shame or regret, became the foundation of her confidence. It wasn't about pretending to be something she wasn't. It was about being unapologetically herself. True confidence begins the moment you stop comparing yourself to others and start embracing your uniqueness. We live in a world that constantly tells us we need to be like someone else. Someone thinner, someone smarter, someone more successful. The pressure to measure up to these ideals can be overwhelming, but comparison steals our joy and dims our light. When we constantly measure ourselves against others, we never give ourselves the space to shine as we are. Confidence isn't about being better than someone else. It's about realizing that your worth is intrinsic, not dependent on comparison or external validation. When Muniba Mazari looks in the mirror, she doesn't see a woman who is broken or incomplete. She sees a woman who is whole, who has overcome incredible odds, and who is capable of creating change in the world. She is confident not because she has no challenges, but because she has learned to embrace them. She understands that confidence comes not from perfection, but from knowing that you are enough just as you are. And that's a lesson we can all learn from. True confidence is also about embracing vulnerability. In our society, vulnerability is often seen as a weakness, something to hide or avoid at all costs. We are taught to keep our struggles to us, to put on a brave face and keep pushing forward. But in reality, vulnerability is one of the most powerful tools we have. It allows us to connect with others on a deeper level, to show our true selves, and to be open to growth. Muniba's ability to share her story openly, to speak about her struggles and triumphs, has made her an icon of strength and inspiration. By being vulnerable, she has given others permission to do the same. Accepting yourself as you are means embracing your flaws, your mistakes, your quirks, and your imperfections. It means understanding that you don't have to be perfect to be worthy of love, success, or happiness. You are enough just as you are. And when you accept yourself fully, you stop seeking external validation because you no longer need it. You no longer measure your worth by the opinions of others or by society's standards. You begin to trust yourself, to believe in your own abilities, and to move through life with a sense of peace and certainty. The beauty of true confidence is that it is not something that comes and goes based on external circumstances. It is a steady foundation that comes from within. When you accept yourself, you stop being afraid of what others think. You stop worrying about whether or not you fit in. You start to realize that your uniqueness is your strength, and that the world needs what only you can offer. Muniba Mazari's confidence doesn't stem from her wheelchair. It stems from her ability to embrace her journey, to accept her imperfections, and to stand proudly in her truth. She doesn't need anyone's approval because she has already given herself permission to be herself. Self-acceptance also means letting go of the need to be perfect in every area of life. Perfectionism is often linked to fear, fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of not being enough. But perfection is an impossible standard. No one can achieve it, and striving for it only leads to frustration and self-doubt. When we stop aiming for perfection, we open ourselves up to growth, learning, and self-compassion. We understand that mistakes are part of the journey, and that every setback is an opportunity to rise again. True confidence comes when we stop beating ourselves up for not being perfect and start celebrating the progress we've made and the person we've become. To accept yourself as you are is to give yourself permission to live authentically, to show up in the world exactly as you are, without pretense, without fear, and without apology. It means acknowledging your strengths and weaknesses, your successes and failures, and recognizing that all of these things are part of the person you are meant to be. True confidence is about being comfortable in your own skin, knowing that you are worthy of respect, love, and success just as you are. When you accept yourself fully, you begin to live from a place of empowerment. You stop waiting for someone else to tell you that you are enough because you already know it. You stop looking for validation outside of yourself because you have already validated your own worth. You start to make decisions based on what feels right for you, rather than what others expect of you. This is where true confidence begins, not in trying to be someone else, but in embracing who you are,